Stay Tuned Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of a drunken degenerate watching the National Football League.
Welcome, everybody, to Stay Tuned Sports. Your boy King hanging out with you here, getting ready for Tank Bowl 2025. A true and honest Tank Bowl. This is a fight for the number one overall pick in the NFL draft next year, 2026. The New York Football Giants currently sitting in that number one spot. Raiders, with a loss, they can get right there with it. So all they have to do is let the other team win. And it seems like both these teams know that if they let the other team win, that they will be in a pretty decent spot because we have Max Crosby now out for the year on IR, getting some he's got to get like a meniscus surgery done. He's got some other stuff going on. So, you know, he said he was upset by it, didn't want to do it, stormed out of the building, was very upset by that. The Giants, I think, we're sitting a couple people as well, not Jackson Dart. I think Sexy Dexy's sitting for the rest of the season now for the Giants as well. So this is truly and honestly a tank bowl for the ages, and we're going to find out here who gets the number one pick. Will it be the Giants? And I honestly don't think it really matters for the Giants anyway. The Raiders, maybe they do need a quarterback, so getting that number one pick might be more important for them. But, hey, if the Giants go ahead and lose this game and they get the number one pick, then they can trade down. They can get a couple more assets. Hey, you want the number one pick? Give us Max Crosby. Things like that. I think that, so we'll see. There's some gamesmanship here. And we'll find out how this game's going to go. This should be a fun one. It should be a fun one to watch. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports, ladies and gentlemen, for Tank Bowl 2025. If you like any part of this channel, any part of anything that we do here, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. I think I did that out of order, but that's okay. By the way, good point, Crafty. If you're in the chat hanging out with us today as part of the community in the chat room, please make sure you click on live chat, not top chat, so that you can see everybody speaking in there. Great to see you in there, by the way, Crafty. Thank you for joining us here for Tank Bowl 2025. Like I said before, you want to help us out, hit that like button, hit that share button, let the world know that this channel does exist. And, of course, as always, if you would like to, please hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized here in the great and glorious platform known as YouTube. Giants are going to get the ball first here as the Raiders have won the toss and have elected to defer. And we are underway. Giants return it up to about the 20-yard line, I want to say. And that is where Jackson Dart and the New York Football Giants will come out onto the field. Jackson Dart this season already has got 20 touchdowns, total touchdowns, 13 passing, 7 rushing, and 5 total turnovers as well. So not the worst stats I think you'd ever see. So not bad. Not bad. I don't think so anyway. So here we go. 1st and 10. New York Giants from the 22. Oh, I didn't know they said from the 22. I would have had Taylor up there thrown. That's going to be caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't know why the stats aren't statting right now, but that's a problem with ESPN. Hopefully they fix that soon. We got a handoff here. Tyrone Tracy gets about 10 yards, and that's going to be a first down for the Giants. So they go ahead and they move the chains, do the Giants. There we go. Now we got the stats statting. Don't know why it wasn't statting. Dart. Want another handoff to Tracy. Tracy gets about 4 yards. Second and 6. Dart throws. Wandale Robinson again. He's going to be short. It's going to be about 3rd and 3 coming up from the 43. Play clock at 10. Boy, Jesus. What are we doing here, boys? Oh, they're going to call a penalty. They're going to say Illuminor moved too quickly. That's going to make it 3rd and 8. So there we go. Got our first penalty of the game. It's going to be a full start there on the New York Giants. So 3rd and 8. Dart in shotgun. Raiders look like they jumped there. No flag, though. Dart throws over to the left side. It's going to be caught by Wandale, and it's going to be a first down for the Giants. They're going to say that gets them down to about the 45, so that's going to be first down, Giants, at the Raiders' 45-yard line. Dart holds on to the ball here. Oh, and he slips. Jackson Dart slips at his own 40-yard line. They're going to say he got to the 41, but that's technically going to go as a sack.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
And so that makes it a 2nd and 24 now. All the way back at their own 41. 14-yard sack. Son of a bitch. So now Dart's in shotgun. Obviously, empty backfield. Got trips to the right. Throws down the middle that is going to be caught and then fumbled. Nope, they're going to say incomplete. Bellinger was the intended receiver. They're going to say incomplete pass. Unbelievable. Crafty in the chat says AFC North and NFC South are like opposing cheeks to the same set of buttocks. I agree, man. I mean, the Steelers had a chance to put it away, and they fell to the Brown. Like, that's just inexcusable. And Illuminor goes offsides again. Can we cut this fat bastard? God damn, man. Every week, all the time, every time, Illuminor. So now 3rd and 29. Great to see you, Irish. Going to be a pass down to Singletary. He gets 5 yards, but it's going to, so they get back to where they were, 4th and 24, and the Giants going to have to punt because of penalties, because of slipping on the surface, and because of goddamn Illuminor. So now the Scottish Hammer coming out. Caught at about the 15-yard line. That's going to be no gain on that particular return. They're going to mark it officially at the 16-yard line, and that is where we're going there. So there we go. We've started off Tank Bowl 2025 in very Tank Bowl fashion there for the New York Giants. Paul in the chat says, "Daggum Giants. Daggum it." Let's do a quick refresh on some of these scores here. By the way, the New Orleans Saints, they beat the Tennessee Titans 34-26. The Jaguars have defeated the Colts. The Colts were really trying like hell to make sure that the that game between the Jaguars and the Texans next week was going to be really, really worth something. But the Jaguars come back and they defeat the Colts at home 23-17. Bengals defeat the Cardinals 37-14, and that game was not as close as the score indicated. Browns defeat the Steelers 13-6. Jesus goddamn Christ, Steelers. Watch the Steelers lose the division. The Steelers are going to lose the division next week. They're going to make that game. That's going to be the Sunday night game, by the way. Steelers, Ravens will be Sunday night, guaranteed. I don't think there's any question. Was it engineered by the scriptwriter for the NFL? Some people seem to think so. I know Tone Diggs from the Pat McAfee show thinks so. Maybe even Tom Grassi, who does the scriptwriter character, maybe he thinks so as well. Dolphins 20, Buccaneers 17. Jesus, goddamn Christ, the Buccaneers just can't buy a win at this point. But on the other end of that, the Panthers lose to a slightly better opponent, the Seahawks 27-10 down in Carolina. That was a close game there. What was it, 3-3 at halftime? And then the Seahawks just kind of pulled away there in the second half. And let's not even talk about the Patriots-Jets game, so we don't even know about that. But let me go real quick. Going to make myself a cup of coffee. I will be right back. Irish said, I told you the Colts would come to play, and I thought so too. I really did think the Colts were going to play well, and they did. And Phillip Rivers played well. It's a shame that it came down to that. Crafty says either that or Hawks-Niners on Sunday night. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I need to make some coffee. Oh, my banana. I forgot my eat a banana. Gonna be a tackle for a loss there. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Fuck, Juno. What are you doing? Incomplete, out of bounds. That was incomplete, out of bounds. You ain't got a chance. Crafty in the chat says, I'd rather the Seahawks and 49ers be on Sunday night with the NFC top seed on the line. It might be. I don't know. What's going to pull more numbers? What's going to pull more numbers? Basically a playoff game, or one that's both teams are already in, it's just for the number one seed. I think the de facto playoff game, winning you're in, losing you're out, is going to be the game they choose. Mayer catches that on 3rd and 12. It's going to be a little short. Where are they going to mark that? They're going to say 4th and 1 from the Vegas 25-yard line. Plus, you got to remember the Steelers have a nationwide fan base. They pull numbers, and you're going to get a lot more ratings with the Steelers. Plus, for a de facto playoff game, that's what I'm telling you. No matter what, it's probably going to end up being Steelers-Ravens Sunday night. If I had to put money on it, Raiders and Pete Carroll are going to challenge the spot here. They're going to say Mayer made it on that 3rd down catch. It's currently spotted at 4th and 1. We're going to find out here in a second. But, just what we need on this kind of a game. Just more delays and make it go longer. Yeah, but the elbow's down. The elbow is down, and he's still not there. So, that's a good spot. Crafty says, if the Niners win on Monday night, Hawks-Niners becomes the the Niners play tonight against the Bears. If the Niners win tonight, is what you're saying, the Hawks-Niners becomes the literally biggest game of the regular season. Ravens-Steelers will be an ass fest. It doesn't matter what the quality of the game. It's going to be what brings in the ratings and the fact that it's a de facto playoff game. NBC is going to pick that one. Let's be honest. NBC is going to pick Ravens-Steelers all day. Over Hawks-Niners is fine. And I think in any other circumstance, it would have been like if the Steelers would have won today, obviously, I think that would have been the way it would go. But I think if you have the option of Seahawks 49ers, whoever wins, gets the number 1 seed in the NFC, does all that, and the loser still makes the playoffs as like the number 5 wild card seed. Versus Steelers Ravens, which is winner gets in, losers out. Playoff game, you have to win or your season's over. They're going to go with the sudden death, all or nothing game. They're 1,000% going with the all or nothing game. I don't think there's a question about that. I don't see how there's a question. Irish in the chat says, I guess Perna didn't curse the Patriots. Is that who the wheel landed on this week? I didn't watch him this week, so I didn't see which team got the curse. But every now and then the curse wheel does not come to fruition or something else happens. Did somebody get injured though? Was there maybe something? Because I didn't see anything. All I saw was the Patriots just absolutely destroy the New York Jets and their will to live. That was horrendous. I don't think they have Saturday games on the last game of the year. Week 18 is every game's on Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. I think the last week of the NFL season, all games are on Sunday. By the way, the call stands. So that's going to be a timeout wasted there by the Raiders. And they're going to punt the ball away. So we just came back from that, and it's probably going to be going right back to a commercial after the punt. Olszewski catches it at the 21 and gets out of about the 27. And as we see Jackson Ducker on the field, and they're going right back to a commercial. Of course they are. Are there? Because I remember the way I remember it, as far as the last 10 years or so, is that last game of the year is last week of the year. All games are on Sunday. That's why there's no Monday night game. There's no Thursday night game. There's nothing like that. They keep them all on that because of the fact that they're, with all the playoff games scheduled and everything like that. You don't want to give anybody an undue advantage. You don't want to say, oh, well, we're favoring this team because we're having them play here, or we're favoring this team because we have them playing on a Thursday or a Monday. Imagine playing a Monday night game and then you have to play a wild card game on Saturday. Like, you're really fucking some teams over. So I think that's why they have all teams play on one day on the last week of the year. First down for the Giants and Dart. About 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Why does it say 3rd and 5? Did I miss a first down play fucking somewhere? I guess it's a third down. What the fuck? What did I miss? Oh, Wandale almost was able to come down with it, but as he lands, the ball's jostled loose, incomplete, fourth down. Giants going to have to punt. I missed a first down fucking somewhere. Did CBS not come back for the first down play? That wouldn't surprise me. I don't think anybody at CBS cares about this game either. Oh, that must. Yeah, you know why? When they made the new rights deals with everybody, I bet you ABC, ESPN was like, "Hey, listen, you're taking away our Monday night game, and you're having all these games on Sunday, be on CBS and Fox, and then obviously NBC with the Sunday night game." They're like, "We want to wet our beak a little bit too," so that's probably why they switched it over there to have a couple of Saturday games. But then you got to watch how you do that too, because you do that, you're either going to you might give a team an extra rest before their playoff game, or you might end up giving a team on Sunday a short rest. Like you have a team that plays on a Saturday game, and then they have to play on Sunday. You're giving them an extra day, whereas a team that plays on Sunday or like Sunday night, even that little bit of time is a little extra time of preparation, of rest, of all that thing is a big thing. And then on the other way around it, if you have somebody who plays on Saturday and then their game's on Saturday, okay, well, that's a full week. But now a team that plays on Sunday, they have a playoff game on Saturday. Now they're on a short week playing a team that's had a full week. Like, that's why I don't like that. I don't like that. I like the way they used to do it, where it was all games on Sunday. And then where the chips fall, the chips fall. But everybody's on equal footing. Crafty says, hey, even the network is tanking. I think everybody doesn't. Yeah, all games for next week are TBD. Because they make that decision on where they're going to put what games where after this week. So all games for next week are always, for the last game of the year, are always TBD. Which I like too. It leaves everything open. It gives, time. And plus the NFL then wants to put their best foot forward. And in this case, that's going to be, I would imagine, that Sunday night game. Now, if they do a Saturday one, like Saturday primetime, like on ABC, ESPN, whatever, one with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call, that feels like that'll be, that might be Niners and Seahawks. Or like somebody else said here, that could be the Panthers and Buccaneers, although that might be the early game on Saturday. They might do that early Saturday. ABC might say, fuck that. Give us two of those games. Give us a playoff game, basically, which is Buccaneers, Panthers, winner takes all. And then have Sunday night be Seahawks versus 49ers, winner takes the NFC. Because that's going to be something, man. You're going to have a case there where a team's going to, whoever wins that game is going to get the bye and be the number one seed, and a team that loses that. Now, that's all to assume that the 49ers win tonight. You have the winner of that wins the NFC. The loser of that goes to the fifth seed and has to go on the road, probably to either Tampa Bay or Carolina. That's crazy. Mayor gets down to 40. Irish, that not really. Again, there was about a 10-year period there where there was the week 17, and now since they added the one week 18, where the last week of the season, all games were on Sunday. If that changed, and I do remember it being Saturday games last year too. So I think that's a recent change that happened with the new rights deal. But it used to be last game of the year was only on Sunday. First and 10 for the Raiders, up at the 40-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of not a lot. Eagles Bills, has kicked off, by the way. There's only two games here in the late window. There's this one and Eagles Bills. Of course, I'm covering the Tank Bowl. Gino on 2nd and 8 throws. That is going to be caught. Tucker with the reception. Third and 3 from their own 47. The Raiders looking to move past midfield here. Throw, and that's going to be caught, and he's going to be about a yard short at their own 49. They have to get to the 50 for a first down. It is 4th and 1, and it looks like the Raiders are going to go for it here. Crafty in the chat, he says, in order to regain the top seed, the Rams are going to need the 49ers to lose tonight and the Seahawks to lose next week to the 49ers, or to have both those teams just tie next week. I don't know if that's going to happen. Hand off to Genty here, 4th and 1, and he is going to get through. That's going to be a 5-yard gain for Genty. First down, Raiders, as they have now crossed midfield and are in Giants territory. The Giants did cross midfield and were in Raiders territory on their first drive. And then a Jackson Dart slipping on the field created a sack. And then Illuminor just loves going off sides. So Geno Smith is going to get That's terrible. That's got to be. They're going to say he's down. That is a sack. All right. Thank God. I was like.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
No, now they said it's an incomplete pass, and it's got to be intentional grounding. That's got to be intentional grounding. There's no receiver, and that's fucking terrible. They stole a sack away from Burns. Tucker on a bit of a sweep. And it's going to be 3rd and 5 from the 41. Crafty keeping us updated on the Eagles game. Said the Eagles threw it 3 times in pouring rain for a quick 3 and out. That's Eagles football, baby. Geno Smith deep down the field. Wide open is Tucker down to the 15-yard line. Eat my ass. God, the Giants suck. 26-yard pass, first down Raiders, as they are now in the red zone. Eat my butt cheeks. Just eat my goddamn butt cheeks. Unbelievable. Genty for a 3-yard run. Genty goes for a jaunty run of 3 yards. Off the left tackle side there. And it's going to make it 2nd and 7 from the 12. Jesus, mother loving. Let me see if I can. I might pull up the Eagles game here too, just to keep an eye on it. Just to keep an eye on it. Do I even have it up here? I think so. Oh, intercepted! Giants got it, and they're returning it to the 40, to the 50. I don't know why he decided to do all that. Should have just kept on running straight up the left side, but that is an interception for the New York Giants. Okirike, baby. And the Giants have 1st and 10 at the Vegas 43-yard line. Let's go. Oh, each one of these teams are trying their goddamnedest to lose this game. That is clear and obvious. Let us all be clear with that. Ooh, the Bills are wearing their red uniforms? Gross. Irish in the chat says, well, I'm turning off this Yahoo Fantasy Sports app. I'm losing the game. Oh, no. Why is this thing that sorry, I'm trying to see if I can get this one particular perfectly legal stream going, and it's just not working the way I've intended. And I don't like it. Yeah, I just can't get it to work all of a sudden, out of nowhere. I'll have to try it again later. Hey, we got a bot. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Well, since yesterday. We've gotten bots lately now. That's kind of cool. No ELS in here. He can't really do anything about it. I'll try to do something. Let me see. I got enough going on here, though. I can't get the games to work. I can't get the streams to work. Irish says literally every single one of my players decided not to show up this week, of course. Singletary with a 4-yard run for the Giants first down and 10. It's going to be 2nd and 6 from the 40. Dart steps back, looks, throws. It's going to be caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. Seems to be Dart's go-to guy here. And that's going to be a 6-yard pass for a first down. First down, Giants. 1st and 10 at the Raiders' 34-yard line. Crafty says, hey, the bots see your channel exploding. I want to capitalize my channel exploding like Eagles apparently sack Allen at midfield. Dart looks, throws, gets it to Tracy out of the backfield. That's going to be... Boy, Tracy did not want to go down. I'm sorry, not Tracy. That's Singletary. My bad. That was Singletary, and that's a 4-yard run. Gets it down to the 30. 2nd down and 6 for the Giants as we're closing in on 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter between the Giants and Raiders here in Tank Bowl 2025. Thank you so much for joining us here to watch Tank Bowl 2025. I'm your boy King, hanging out with you here on Stay Tuned Sports. If you like anything about this particular Tank Bowl, please hit a like, hit a share, and hit a subscribe as, Singletary to the 10, to the 5. They're going to mark him down at the half-yard line. 1st and goal, New York Giants. And that might be the last play of the quarter, as the game clock, I think, is 1 second faster than the play clock. Clock is down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, the Giants do snap it. They hand it off. Did he get over? I think he did, and they say he did. Touchdown, New York Giants. Look at that, baby. Woo! Fuck that number one pick. I haven't been able to use that Giants touchdown graphic a lot this year. So here we go. Giants line up for the extra point. Snap, hold, Sauls with the kick, and that's going to split it right down the middle. Makes it 7-0. The New York Giants take a lead in Tank Bowl 2025. 29-yard run there from Singletary, and then he closes it out with a 1-yard run from the half-yard line. As the Giants, at the end of the first quarter, we are now here. The quarter has ended. Time expired in the first quarter. We have now hit the second quarter. Giants lead 7-0 over the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. Crafty in the chat letting us know here that the Jets indeed went another week without an interception, and now they have only one game left to get a pick this season, or it is a full. It'll be an unbreakable record. Until they expand it to 18 games, it'll be an unbreakable record. And even then, it'll just be, hey, it'll be a season. You can't go a full season without having an interception. And I don't know. That's going to be hard to do. I don't know if you can do that. Like, especially with the way they're so. I mean, there's, Sam Darnold is in this league. And I like Sam. He does play well. But he also loves throwing the ball to the other team. There are quarterbacks out there like that. I mean, the Jets play in a division with Tua. And didn't get a pick in the 2 games they played against Tua. So just saying. Crazy says, "Will Aaron Glenn's job hinge on that?" Again, do they fire Aaron Glenn after one season? Like, do any of us think that? I don't know. I don't think that's something they're going to do. Like, that doesn't strike me as something that they'll do. Boy, it is coming down there in Buffalo, huh? Aaron Andrews is soaking wet. Raiders get the kickoff. It's going to be 1st and 10. They get all the way up to the 41-yard line. Jesus. So 1st and 10 from the 41 coming up here for the Raiders. No score yet in that Eagles-Bills game, by the way. There's 8 minutes remaining. Geno Smith in not in shotgun. He's actually under center for this. Hand off to Genty. Genty loses a yard. 2nd and 11. sideline reporter saying, hearing from the Giants sideline how the Giants are just a bunch of alpha males keyed in on winning. Lloyd in the chat said, did the Colts lose? Yes, they did, unfortunately. They did play a good game, though. That's going to be a penalty on Dexter Lawrence. Neutral zone inflection. So Dexter is playing. I thought Dexter wasn't playing today. Who is it for the Giants that's out? Is it Carter? Is it? I don't know, because Burns is playing here, too. So I don't know. Yeah, I just saw Carter on the field, so I don't know. Mayer, that's going to be no gain for them. That's, again, now it's going to be 3rd and 5 after the 5-yard penalty made it 2nd and 5. Crafty in the chat said, sideline reporter getting horny. I don't know if she's getting horny. I'm just saying it because, the Giants are just alpha males committed to winning. The 2-13 fucking belies that. Third and 5 for the Gigantes. Oh, Giants jumped into the neutral zone, but got back. Throw, and that's going to be caught. That's going to be Banks with the reception. 11 yards is gained, and that's going to be a first down for the Raiders. That gets them down to the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Geno Smith in shotgun, passes it out of the backfield. That's going to be to Mayer. Mayer's going to get 4 yards. That's a 4-yard pass. 2nd and 6 upcoming now for the Raiders. Eagles punt the ball away to the Bills, and so it'll be Bills ball. 5:56 remaining in the first quarter. No score between the Bills and the Eagles. Lord in the chat saying, I don't know what's worse, Colts or the Steelers losing to the Browns. When we look at that, and I think I posted that in the Discord too, Genty, he's going to get an 8-yard run right up the middle, 1st down, but we have a flag. That's going to be against the Giants. Robertson Harris, illegal use of hands. So they're going to add that to the end of the run, and that's going to be a first down. It was a first down anyway, so. So now 1st and 10 from the Giants, 26. The Buccaneers are, here's the thing, the Buccaneers are like the Colts. I think they've won 1 game in the last 8 or 9 games, but they're in the NFC South, so it's still they still have a chance to win a division. Oh, Geno Smith, that's a sack for you, brother. Hey, brother, that's a sack for you.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Oh, no, that wasn't. I wasn't Geno. That was Genty. Never mind. Take the sack off. You got to take the sack off. Either way, it's a loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. It's the Tank Bowl. Even I'm tanking. Who gives a shit? Tyler Lockett, he gets a 5-yard pass. And that's going to put it down at the Giants 22. 22! Great to see you, Taylor. So 3rd and 6 from the 22 coming up here for the Raiders. Geno looking to throw. He's going to get swallowed up, and now he gets sacked. Now this is a proper sack.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Going to be a sack of 2 yards. Going to make it 4th and 8. And the Raiders, it appears, will go for the field goal. I would imagine if they're smart, if they're wicked smart. "42-yard field goal attempt for the Raiders. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. We have a 7-3 game here at Allegiant Stadium in beautiful Paradise, Nevada. New York Giants lead the Tank Bowl 7-3. They're going to be right back here in just a moment. I just saw that happen now on the on my little perfectly legal stream here. As the Bills, do have a rather large completion down the field. Lloyd says, "I got Raiders in this game." That's fine. A Raiders win doesn't hurt. Sorry. Yeah, we're not on 22 anymore. Sorry, Taylor. Oh, got the mug on the mic that time. Crafty in the chat says, "Sad part about the Colts' collapse is that they have a one score. They have a lot of one-score losses in that stretch, dude. There's a lot. There's, I think I posted in the Discord, that there was, of all the things that happened to the Colts to have them be like eliminated at this point, like if you look back at through all the games over the last concurrent weeks there, of not only where they lost the games, but other games where they needed other teams to possibly lose or other teams to win to help them out in that situation. In every single one of those games, of not just the games they played, but all the other games of maybe an opponent they needed to lose, like the Jaguars to lose a game, Texans to lose a game here, do something like that. All those teams in those games were like 0-16. Like, not only did the Colts lose and have this bad stretch where everybody got injured and they got a bad thing of luck and they just couldn't stay healthy and things like that, and the one-score games, like you mentioned. But then on the other side of that, too, all the other teams that, if they lost, could have helped the Colts out a little bit, that all didn't help them either. So, so now we're getting ready to come back here. Raiders getting ready to kick off to the Giants after they kicked a field goal, as the Giants lead 7-3 here in the Tank Bowl. Getting ready for that. Lloyd says, "I don't know why, but this feels like a drinking game, and you'd wake up to the final touchdown, finding out the Raiders score while you're cheering for the Giants, only for the buzz to evaporate after realizing realizing the Giants lost." Like, again, how I look at this is like it's terrible either way. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, oh, you get the number 1 pick if you lose. Okay, that's great. And if we win, we get like the number 2 or 3 pick or whatever it is. Or, like it's, again, I don't think, we're not looking for a quarterback. So having the number 1 pick feels almost like it's gravy. It would be great. It would be nice. Again, we could trade it and get different assets, maybe get other picks, get pieces, things like that. And that's a great thing to have. But also, I would like to win. So it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. That's going to be a handoff to Tyrone Tracy. That's going to be a 6-yard run. By the way, the Giants were starting on a 35 after a touchback. 2nd and 4 from the 41. Dart under center. Giving it to Tracy again. Tracy's going to be a yard short. The Giants are at the 44, have to get to the 45 for a first down. I just saw the turnover now on the. I guess this stream is apparently very far behind. 4:03 remaining in the Eagles and Bills first quarter. Jackson Dart designed run gets down to the 50. Can we not have a designed? I know you guys don't give a shit because you guys aren't going to be the coaches next year. But can you not murder the future of the fucking franchise, please, Mike Kafka? Please, and thank you. Stop with the design runs for Dart. The end. Thank you. You bald-headed bastard. 6-yard run for Dart, by the way. Dart now throws. That's going to be caught. Isaiah Hodgins with the catch there. It's going to be good for about 8 yards. 2nd and 2 down to the 42-yard line of the Raiders. Jalen Hurts, he's going to complete a pass to A.J. Brown as they are now inside of the red zone for the Eagles. Another designed run for Dart. Can we please stop? What did I just say, Mike Kafka? What did I just say? Does nobody listen to me? Not family, not friends. Nobody wants to listen to King. Stop running Jackson Dart. 3-yard run in the first down, though. 1st and 10 from the Vegas 39-yard line. Jackson Dart in shotgun. Takes the snap. Thank God he's not fucking running the ball. Throws down the field. Caught! Wide open to Slayton down to the 18-yard line. 21-yard pass. First down, Giants. A.J. Brown is going to be about a yard short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1 coming up there for the Eagles. Dart. Quick screen pass here to Robinson. Robinson, that's going to be a good 6-yard pass. He gets down to the 12. 2nd and 4 from the 12. Jimbo in the chat says, "Man, getting a lot of bots the past 2 days. You finally made it." I don't think that's the marker, Jimbo. I don't think that's the marker for what we're doing here. Jimbo says, "Sounds like this game is getting good for King." No, I mean it's not. Listen, Jimbo, we know this. Oh, Jackson Dart with another designed run right up the middle, touchdown. Can we stop running Jackson Dart? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it. Hey, touchdown. Stop it. Touchdown. Stop it. Boo, touchdown. Stop it. Mike Kafka's like, fuck that. I'm not going to have a job here next year. Let's murder the quarterback before we leave. Fucking Christ. Sorry, I'm trying to curse less. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Extra point coming up here, though, for the Giants. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. And the Eagles have just scored a touchdown in Buffalo. Goddard with the touchdown reception. And the Eagles are the first to put points on the board there with 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So the Eagles about to go up 7-0, depending on the extra point. Don't know if that's going to go through or not. Extra point for the Giants is up and good. It is now 14-3. Jimbo in the chat said, Dabo wouldn't have ran Dart so much. Except he did. When Dabo was here, he was still running Dart. And then when Dart came out with the concussion, Dabo's running to the tent being like, hey, get on out there. We need him out there. I don't care if I scrambled his head. He needs to get out there. Niner Gang in the chat says Tank Bowl 2025. Indeed, we are broadcasting Tank Bowl 2025 right here on Stay Tuned Sports. I'm your boy King, hanging out with you here, narrating this wonderful game here. that in which the loser will have the inside track for the number 1 overall pick. If the Giants lose this game, they will clinch the number 1 spot in the 2026 NFL Draft. So we will see what happens with this. Currently, the Giants have a 14-3 lead in this game, and I'm sure there's some Giants fans out there punching the air. Like I said, whether we're the number 1 pick, number 2, number 3, number 4, like I said, we're good with our quarterback so long as Mike Kafka doesn't murder him in the next 2 weeks with all the designed runs and things like that. So the number 1 pick isn't nearly as important as it is to maybe some other teams or how it would normally be for a year if you're like really looking for that franchise cornerstone. That being said, it would be nice to have as far as a way to get different assets or things like that. But we'll see, Niner Gang. We'll see, Niner Gang, what happens with the rest of this. Jimbo in the chat says, Giants can do the funniest thing, lose out on that number 1 pick, trade Dart away, and extend Shane for 5 years. Well, now that's just wishful Eagles fan thinking right there. Now that's just poor manners. It's just poor manners. Melanie Collins is a sideline reporter here for the Giants and Raiders. She's currently talking about Cam Skidaboo! And it seems like she might have a little bit of a crush on him. So, interesting. Niner Gang in the chat said, true, both teams. The Raiders are desperate. Like, if the Raiders get the number 1 pick, they're 1,000% drafting, like, Mendoza, Pavia, whoever it is, as their quarterback. That is who they are looking for. By the way, kickoff's going to go for a touchback, and the Raiders will start this drive from their own 35-yard line. For the Giants, I think everything for this offseason has to be dedicated to the offensive line. Just secure that offensive line. Please work on that offensive line and defensive backfield. Keep as many people as you can on the defense, on our defensive front 7. Let's see who we can get as a defensive coordinator. Let's see who we get as head coach. Let's see if we hold on to Shane or let him go or whatever's going to happen. Like, there's a lot of variables. But the Giants are not, like, personnel-wise, the Giants aren't far off. They really aren't. It's just, boy, we need to work on that fucking offensive line. I'm trying to curse less. Crafty says Daboll should have gotten in trouble. He did. They fined him like $100,000. Oh my God! They tried to hand that off to Tucker, and that turned out to be a 10-yard loss. Holy shit! Abdul Carter came in there like a beast. They tried to do the little end around thing there, and that ends up in a 10-yard loss. 2nd and 20 coming up here for the Raiders. Jimbo says they only have a 3-year window with Dart and Scatterbo. Why? You don't think they're keeping both of them? Tucker, he gets the pass off the left side. That's going to be good for about 7 yards. 3rd and 13 now from the 32-yard line for the Raiders. End of the first quarter in Orchard Park, where the Bills trail the Eagles 7-0. Gino in shotgun takes the snap, looks, throws. That's going to be caught. Down to the 49-yard line, 19-yard pass. We have a flag down. What is this going to be? Holding on the Raiders, 10-yard penalty. Take that gain off the board. And now it's going to be 3rd and 23 from the Las Vegas 22-yard line. Jimbo said, no, it's not that the Giants will, not be able to sign both of them. It says they'll both be out of the league with CTE. Possibly. So from the 22-yard line, Geno Smith in shotgun takes the snap. He looks. He throws. That's going to be caught. That's going to be Jackson who gets that. Gets it up to the 31-yard line. Gain of around 9 yards. And it's going to be 4th and 14. And it appears that the Raiders will have to punt the ball away. Pecan in the chat with the Taylor Hart. Yeah, they were on the 22-yard line. We only got to, we're consistent if nothing here on Stay Tuned Sports, especially when it comes to Taylor. So great to see you, Pecan. Your Saints doing very well today. Raiders kicked off, or punted anyway, and that's going to basically be fair caught at the 15-yard line. Whoa, now we got a fight on the sidelines here. I saw the official running towards the – yeah, I thought, like, did the kick go out of bounds all the way up there, or what was going on? And no, that was just a – Giants ran the Raider out of bounds, and then it turned into a scrum, and the Raiders started trying to fight the New York Giant on the New York Giants bench. Probably not the best place to start a fight with a Giant when you're surrounded by Giants. I agree, Irish. That's why I like – no flags, by the way, on that whole ordeal. There was physical assaults happening on the sidelines, but no flags. Dude, I got to say, and I said it all year, I have enjoyed watching the Saints all year because they've played hard every game. They've given their all every game. And some games they got blown out, and most games they weren't. Most games were close and good games they were in. And again, now you look in this last little bit with Shuck in there, and Shuck has gotten better, I think, better and better every week. I think he's shown that maybe he's the guy. Maybe the Saints were right when they picked up Shuck, and they're like, this is going to be our guy. Allen with a big gain there and gets a first down for the Bills. They got 14-12 remaining in the second quarter. Pecan says, Saints winning the division next year. Write it down. I don't know if that's the case, but I think they're going to be one of those teams that you look at as kind of like the Bears this year and have kind of that worst to first kind of thing happen. Although they're not, I think depending on how this season ends up and what the Falcons end up doing, I think the Saints can end up ahead of the Falcons, right? I want to say yes. I have no idea if that's even close to being true, but I want to say yes. Yeah, because if the Falcons lose today, then they'll both be 6-10, and then they play each other on the last week, on the last game next week. New Orleans may not be in last place. How about that? Crafty says the Saints are currently the best team in the NFC South, but they emerged a little too late. It's hard to argue because as we look at it right now, they're only 2 games out of first place. When you want to look at it that way, they're only 2 games out of first place. And like if Tampa Bay beats Carolina next week and wins on the tiebreaker, it'll be a 8-9 team. And if New Orleans wins against Atlanta next week, they'll be 7-10. There'll literally only be a 1-game difference between the Saints and the NFC South champion. So I don't think you're off. Honestly, Pecan, I don't think you're off. And that's a great point, Crafty, with that you just made about them being like the best team in the South right now. They really kind of are. Oh, by the way, I never moved the ball over here for the Giants. It was 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 5 from the 20. Dart and shotgun takes the snap, throws over the middle of Wandale. That's going to be caught. And a first down, about 7-yard gain. Oh, they gave him 9 yards on that one. Okay, I thought it was only 7. That's 1st and 10 from the 29. Dart, play action, steps back. Boy, he's got all the time in the world. Throws down the middle. Wide open, Wandale, down to the 40, down to the 35, and finally pushed out of bounds. That's a gain of 36 yards on that pass. First down, Giants. And they actually mark him down at the 29-yard line. I missed my markers there. I was going to say, I saw Irish in there say, oh, the Saints need a running back. I was like, Alvin Kamara is still there. Like, do they need a younger running back? Do they need somebody maybe as like to take some of the load off for him? I think absolutely. I don't think there's a question about that. But, like, if I'm Alvin Kamara and I kind of see what's happened in this second half of the season with the Saints, I'm like, yo, Kellen Moore knows what he's doing. It seems like hey, let's go here. Like, if I'm Alvin Kamara, I would actually be pretty excited about next season for New Orleans. I 1,000% think that. $11-12 remaining in the second. Josh Allen and the Bills on the Eagles' 45-yard line. This is 3rd and 8. Allen throws down the middle. It's going to be in and out of the hands of his receiver. 4th and 8, and it looks like the Bills are going to have to punt again. Hey, Bills, maybe this is the sign. Here's your sign. Stop wearing those ugly red fucking uniforms. Trying to curse less. Sorry, everybody. Irish says Kamara is injured every season, and he's over 30. Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe get a running back, whether through the draft or through free agency, whatever, as kind of maybe a first and second down back, or even if you just want to have him as a third down back and keep Alvin as your main back. But either way, just take some of the load off of Kamara, but still have him on it because he's still a danger. I think he's still a very good running back and still has a lot that he can do. If you can manage his load, baby. If you can manage his load, I can see him still being there and still being a massive contributor to that Saints team. Jimbo says, I like those red unis. Of course you do, Jimbo. Because it's helping to jinx the Bills and it's helping the Eagles win 7-0 right now there in Orchard Park. As Phillips is limping off the field in the Orchard Park there. The last season of Orchard Park before they move into their new stadium at Orchard Park. So, Jamal Adams jawing at the Giants coaching staff. Then finally Jameis Winston comes over, and he has some words for him. Protect Jameis Winston at all costs. Tyrone Tracy with a gain of about 3 yards. Going to be 2nd and 7 for the Giants from the 32-yard line. Darts and shotgun, takes the snap. It's going to be another handoff to Tracy. Ooh, that looks like they were going to get him in the backfield. He gets 2 yards out of it. Now the Raiders are going to call a timeout here. That's their second timeout. They lost their first one on a bad challenge. Crafty in the chat says, shit unis equals shit performance. Somebody needs to do a study on that. Hey, Dion has been saying it for years. Look good, feel good, play good, pay good, baby. That's it. So $1:23 remaining here in the second quarter. Raiders take a timeout. It appears like they have an injured player on the field. Number 69, Butler. Nice. So Giants will be facing a 3rd and 5 from the 30. Got to get to the 25 for a first down. Let's see if they can do it. I don't know what happened. Big man just went down, yeah. There's nothing hit. Didn't look like he hurt a knee or something. He just kind of was bumped and slowly walked and then was like, took a knee. Weird. That was weird. Either way, 3rd and 5, $1:23 remaining. Giants have all 3 timeouts. Raiders have 1. Jackson Dart. And shotgun. Takes the snap. Steps back. Looks, throws out of the backfield. He's going to get that to Singletary, and that's going to be, they're going to say a first down. It's going to say he reached the 25, first down for the Giants. Crafty in the chat says, worst throwback unis are the Packers. They look like they're wearing giant mucus balls on it. I love those Packers uniforms. With the leather helmet on there and everything, I love it. Called down from the booth. They're going to replay. They're going to take a review of see whether the Giants actually made that first down marker or not. It's currently standing as a 5-yard gain for the Giants and a first down at the Vegas 25. We're going to see if it stays that way. Excuse me. Oh boy, look at young Nick Sirianni there on the Fox broadcast. He always looked like a douchebag, huh? That's just a look that doesn't go away. That's one that you're born with, huh? He was born a douchebag, from a douchebag, is a douchebag, and will die a douchebag. In case you didn't know, Sirianni is actually Italian for douchebag. I don't know if anybody knew that. Jalen Hurts throws over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended receiver there. 10-12 remaining in that Eagles-Bills game in the second quarter. Crafty in the chat says, I know the Raiders weren't expected to be great this season, but it's quite shocking how utterly abysmal they've been. I think there was a lot, because I thought, too, that the Raiders would get a little bit more stability. I didn't think they'd be great, but I think with Pete Carroll there, they'd have a little bit more stability. They would be middle of the road, mediocre, which is better than what they've been. But between that, the Chip Kelly fiasco, and the fact that he was running his own plays from Oregon and ignoring Pete Carroll's offense wholly, So, like, Ashton Genty didn't know what was going on. Geno Smith didn't know what was going on. Half the people didn't know the calls that were coming in. The verbiage was all wrong. Like, this season was an absolute disaster for the Raiders. By the way, they have overturned the first down call. They say it's only a 4-yard pass that the Giants are short. It's going to be 4th and 1 from the Vegas 26-yard line. 59 seconds remaining. Will the Giants go for it, or will they kick a field goal? We're going to find out here in a moment. Kenneth, great to see your brother in the chat. Kenneth says, hey, my friend, how are you doing tonight? I am doing good tonight. I'm glad, brother. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us here for Tank Bowl 2025. Giants and Raiders. Giants currently lead Tank Bowl 14-3. Although I guess you could say whoever wins really loses, and whoever loses still loses, but is better in the draft prospects. ELS in the chat says, you have reached the depressed Packers fan, ELS. I think we have a curse with all of these injuries. I'll tell you what, man, it's, third straight year in a row the Packers have clinched the 7th seed. They're going to be resting everybody next week, as they probably should because everybody's freaking injured. So, oh, the Raiders jump off sides on 4th and 1. And that's going to be an automatic first down for the New York Giants. Oh, no. 5-yard penalty. First down, Giants. The Raiders are really. Ooh, Barkley comes off a little sore. Crafty in the chat says, heck of a completion by Hurts. I don't think I've gotten to that part yet. Again, my stream is rather delayed. Dart, 1st and 10, throws just kind of out of the end zone there. I guess Tracy was the intended receiver. 43 seconds remaining, 2nd and 10 for the Giants. Crafty says the Raiders front office called down with those instructions, said, you get them a first down. So here are the Giants now at the 20, 2nd and 10. Dart throws over the middle. It's going to be to Wandale again. Wandale does a little shucking, does a little jiving, and he gets himself down to the 9-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Giants. Giants use their first time out of the half. ELS in the chat says, I got word that we have 2 more Packers on season-ending injuries. Well, that's just great. Irish says, great, now Barkley is hurt. I noticed before he came off the field, he was kind of banging on his right calf, right ankle. And I don't know, because I haven't gotten to that much. Again, I'm behind, so he might have gotten injured again. So we'll see what happens here as I look through here. Crafty says, Hurts gets up gingerly after a big hit, getting a hit out of bounds. First and goal here in Vegas, though. Giants at the 9. Dart takes the snap, looks, throws. It looks like he was going for Isaiah Hodgins, I think, was the intended receiver. Incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 9 for the Giants. Jimbo says Bills playing dirty. No, just because they look like shit doesn't mean they're dirty. Also, the Eagles got to do something with their strength and conditioning coaches. Let's be honest. Dart. Scrambles to his left, looking, throws towards the back of the end zone, off the hands of Slayton, incomplete, 3rd and goal for the Giants. I just got to the part where Hurts is walking gingerly from the sidelines after a big hit, where we see douchebag Sirianni mouthing off because he's a big giant douchebag. So here we go again. The Giants in 3rd and goal from the 9. Jackson Dart takes the snap. He's going to throw to Tracy in the backfield, and he's going to lose yardage. And that's going to knock the Giants. That's a 5-yard loss on the play. Knocks the Giants to 4th and goal on the 14-yard line. Giants. Oh, there's an injured Raider on the field, so that's going to be a Raiders timeout. So the Raiders are out of timeouts. 2 seconds remaining. Giants are going to go for a field goal here to put the game at 17-3. Crafty in the chat, keeping us up to date here on this Eagles game, says there was just a bad drop by A.J. Brown, or A.J. Clown, as he liked to call him. Ben Sauls comes on the field for a 32-yard field goal attempt for the Giants. Hurts throws a deep pass down the field, and that's the drop there by A.J. Brown. He tried to do a one-handed catch in bad weather. That's never going to end good. Scottish Hammer adjusting his hammer as he gets ready to hold for the lefty Sauls. Snap, hold, kick, up. And that is good. And the Giants lead Tank Bowl 2025 17-3 as we have reached halftime in Paradise, Nevada. At Allegiant Stadium, the New York Giants lead 17-3. I do believe the Raiders will get the second half kickoff. And we will see how this all goes from there. Will the Giants be able to hold on to that number 1 pick, or will they let the Raiders steal it from underneath them? And I don't know. See, that's what I mean. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't care. Like, of all the years where we could get the number 1 pick and I would give a shit, like, I really just don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. Jimbo says there should have been pass interference on the Bills on that play. Shut Jimbo. But the Eagles do kick a field goal as they have a 10-0 lead in Buffalo. The New England Patriots rooting like hell for the Eagles. For if the Eagles win this game, the Bills can no longer win the AFC East, and the Patriots, for the first time in 5 years, will be the AFC East champions back on top, and the evil empire will once again grow. The new order will be back. And Crafty in the chat says, Pete Carroll, coming off the field, told the sideline reporter, we just need to get out of our own way, which he interpreted as, you mean we have to suck less? I mean, I guess you have to say that in a more press-friendly way. Although, again, I would always have more respect for the people that just kind of speak from the heart, if you will. So if Pete Carroll just ran off the field and said, man, we got to suck less because we are sucking like penny packs on a Tuesday, baby. It's like, you know what? I respect that. I respect that honesty. Also, weird reference for the porn star, but hey, whatever. So let's check again. We have some of the other scores that we have from today. Crafty in the chat says, Eagles receiver gets breathed on. Jimbo, DPI after the flag. To be fair, we're all a little bit homer for our home teams. Clearly. I mean, that's just, that's who we are. That's who we are as fans. We're always going to lean that way. We're always going to go towards that way. And there's nothing wrong with it. We just all, every now and then, we do have to be reminded and make sure that people understand. It's like, yeah, that's a bit of a homer take, Does Fox have this game on? I don't even know. It was here in the area. I wonder if it's blacked out because the Giants are playing. They usually do that. Just trying to make a little bit of plans for later on. Of course, we'll be having tonight's game, which will be the Bears and the 49ers in the industrial park known as Santa Clara, California. Roughly 60 miles away from San Francisco. Can't even see the skyline because of the curvature of the earth. Did Allen fumble that ball again? Or is they going to call that an incomplete pass? Oh no, that was a James Cook fumble. Oh, he's down. Yeah, that's fine. I'm on 2nd and 9 here. There's 4:27 remaining in the second quarter in Orchard Park. Josh Allen in shotgun. He takes the snap. He steps back. He's looking, and oh my God, Jalen Carter just murdered him. Not the hardest hit, but I mean, Allen had no shot. In that situation, Josh Allen was Haley Steinfeld's egg, and Jalen Carter was Josh Allen's sperm. There was just no shot. That egg didn't stand a chance. So here we go, 3rd and 19 now for the Bills. Josh Allen takes the snap. In shotgun, he's going to throw over the middle. Oh, my God, it's caught. But at what price? Was that Shakir that just got destroyed by Blankenship? Oh, my God. Oh, my hip hurts after seeing that. See, this is why we wear hip pads, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you wear hip pads. Pecan in the chat says, these Eagles look like the Super Bowl Eagles. The defense is playing better. Bills got to wake up here. Their division championship aspirations are going to fade away quickly. Eagles only get it up to about the 30-yard line. They got 2:49 remaining in the second quarter. And with that, I'm going to take a quick break here, make some coffee, as I always do here during the halftimes. And we'll be back here for the third quarter of Tank Bowl 2025. New York Giants currently lead 17-3. that would give the Raiders the number 1 draft pick going into Week 17. If the Giants lose, the Giants blow this game, which the Giants have blown games like this. It's a 2-touchdown lead. This feels like the Raiders got the Giants right where they want them. The Giants lose, they will lock up the number 1 pick. So we will see what happens in the next 30 minutes. But I'll be right back after I get a little bit more caffeine in me. Of course, as always, I'm a caffeine fiend. I always say, like, the opening of this show is always, a drunken degenerate watching the National Football League. It's like, it really should just be a caffeinated degenerate, because that's really all I do. I'll be right back. we go. All right, kickoff has happened here. To start the second half, but we have a New York Giant is down currently. We have a New York Giant down. Javon Holland has been called as the player who is down currently. Everybody's on a knee and everybody looks concerned. I don't like that. I don't like the way that looks. And there we go. Now we also have a nice scoreboard there for the Eagles and Bills so we know what the hell's going on. Sorry, I was a little quiet coming back. I wanted to make sure I got that there so we have something. All right, so Javon Holland is walking off the field. He's going to go to the blue tent under his own power, so that's good to see. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. From the 24, it's going to be Mayer, the tight end, and he's going to get a first down already on 1st down and 10. He gets 13 yards. Gets down to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10, Raiders. Well, we got a flag on this play. It's going to be an illegal shift on the Raiders. So Genty really didn't run for any yardage, but they still lose 5 yards. It doesn't matter. 7th flag of the game. First and 15, Mayer in motion in the backfield. Gino was under center, tripped over Mayer as he was in motion, and that's going to be Genty for only about 2 yards. I'm sorry, that's White up the middle for 2 yards. That's number 3, not number 2. And the Eagles take a 13-0 lead in their game in Buffalo. Gino just throws that one into the ground, incomplete. What's this? An eligible player downfield on a throw that just went into the ground anyway, so on what was just supposed to save yardage to throw it into the ground by Gino, turns out to be a 5-yard loss anyway. So 3rd and 13. And Geno Smith gets sacked, but we have a flag down. And this is going to be Abdul Carter for offsides again. So we're just starting off with flags here. God, Abdul Carter cannot stop lining up in the neutral zone. He just can't fucking do it. Trying to watch my language. Third and 8, Geno in shotgun. Oh, and he got murdered by Brian Burns. Holy shit. And that one's going to stand, ladies and gentlemen.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
Oh, my God. Crafty in the chat says, Geno saw Burns coming on and said, gee, no. Dad joke, Crafty. Back in the chat. Great to see you. Raiders punt this ball away. Shevsky's going to take it at about the 12. Returns it to the 20. And then he gets absolutely lit up. And then just walks it off like a badass, to be honest with you. Halftime in Orchard Park. After a little bit of a dust-up there between the Eagles and Bills. Eagles lead 13-0. 2-possession lead. Really, it's a 2-touchdown lead there for him. Irish in the chat says, gotta love Crafty. Absolutely. Yeah, I gotta love Crafty. I love all you guys. I love everybody in the chat. And if you want to join us in the chat, be part of the community, chat is open. Come in, say hi, say hello, say how you doing to everybody here. Make sure if you're in the chat, you click on the live chat option, not top chat. There, I believe it's in the top left of your chat on YouTube. Make sure you're seeing everybody's messages and everybody in the community having their voice heard. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports for a Tank Bowl 2025 between the New York Giants and the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. It is currently 17-3. The New York Giants lead Tank Bowl, and they will have 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line coming up here. And the other game that we're keeping an eye on, as you can see down there, in the lower part of the screen, we have the Eagles and the Bills. Eagles up 13-0 in Orchard Park at halftime. Bills need to win in order to keep their hopes for an AFC East championship alive. If they lose, the New England Patriots, who just murdered the Jets earlier today, they will go ahead and they will clinch the AFC East title. Sorry, I was just watching a 60 Minutes ad about making whiskey, apparently. Gotta love making whiskey. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us here for Tank Bowl 2025. If you like any part of this particular show, particular channel, particular anything that we do here, even me and my beautiful, handsome face, hit that like button, hit that share button, let people know that we exist here. And, of course, if you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized here on the great and glorious platform known as YouTube. If you want to help us out a little bit more directly, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store in the top of the chat and in the description below this video. First down and 10, throws to Darius Slayton. That's going to be good for about 15 yards. First down, Giants. Giants run up to the line, going no huddle here. Dart takes the snap, looks, throws. That is going to be batted up in the air. And smart play by the Giants offensive lineman there to knock that down and just make sure that it is incomplete. Second down and 10 for the Giants from the 38-yard line. Dart in shotgun, second and 10. Boy, he's got all the time to throw. He completes that, of course, to Wandale Robinson. That's going to be good. Close to the first down. They're going to say just short, 9-yard gain for the Giants. Third down and 1 coming up from the 47-yard line. Giants line up here. Dart is in shotgun. He takes the snap. And they're going to do another designed run with Dart. Can we stop doing a design run? At least he runs out of bounds. It's going to be a 10-yard run. Ooh, sorry, punched the microphone. Tyrone Tracy, he's going to break one. Gets it down to the 25. Does another nifty move. Gets down to the 20. That's going to be a 23-yard run for Tyrone Tracy and a first down for the Giants at the Vegas 20-yard line. Can't get too comfortable. Can't get too comfortable. Oh, Jackson Dart looks throw. That's close. That should have been. That should be intentional grounding. Nope. They're going to say no. They're going to say he's sacked. They say Jackson Dart was down. No pass.
Too bad your ass got sacked.
So that's a loss of 5 yards, makes it 2nd and 15, back at the 25. Irish in the chat says you should start punching the air instead of the mic. Listen. There's been an ongoing thing, again, because I'm from Jersey, so I talk with the hands and everything, and I'm always hitting them. It's an ongoing thing for at least 2 years since we've been doing this channel. Dart steps back. He's looking to throw. He's going to pull it down and run it himself, and he's going to run it down to the 7-yard line. First down, Giants. That's going to be first and goal for the Giants. They're going to mark him out at the 8. 17-yard run for Jackson Dart. First down and goal. And the Giants are getting ready to maybe, hopefully, punch this in again. I'm sure some Giants fans don't care. Some Giants fans are upset. They want the Giants to lose. Again, Giants suck, so it doesn't matter. First and goal from the 8. Jackson Dart in shotgun. Takes the snap and hands it off to Tyrone Tracy. Gets it to the 6-yard line, and then he is pushed back. So that is not going to get into the end zone. Second and goal coming up for the Giants. Ooh, woo. Second and goal from the 6. Giants line up. Dart stays in the shotgun position. Singletary gets it down near the 4-yard line. Going to be third and goal. They're going to say he's actually just inside the 5. I thought it was closer to the 4, but what do I know? I'm just a fat, old, ugly, balding man with bad eyes who lives in New Jersey. Crafty says, King dropping some sick bars. Every now and then. It'll get to the point during broadcast I'll always end up somehow breaking into song. Dart in shotgun throws towards the corner of the end zone. It's just thrown out of bounds, incomplete towards the vicinity of Wan'Dale Robinson. Fourth and goal for the Giants, and they're going to send out the kicking unit to go and make this a 20-3 game. The lefty, Ben Saul, coming out. Giants lefty kicker, who's wearing a far too long T-shirt on the outside of his football uniform. Got tucked that shit in, motherfucker. Sorry, I'm trying to curse less. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. The Giants take a 20-3 lead over the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas. 17 points is the deficit for the Raiders to overcome, to beat the New York Giants here. 7:17 remaining in the third quarter. You know what? You will never find anybody in real life who is as happy as somebody in a fucking pharmaceutical commercial. Sorry, trying to curse less. You will never find anybody as happy as these bastards. Oh, look at me. I'm on Sky Rizzy, and I'm at a construction site. I'm so happy eating this burger. I'm so happy. By the way, side effects might include tuberculosis, might have flu-like symptoms. I might shit my brains out and die. But that's okay, because control is everything to me with Sky Rizzy. Listen, cocaine doesn't make you that happy that the way these people are. Irish in the chat says, keep getting after Geno, Giants defense. I need you. Jimbo in the chat says, I feel like there's something behind the phrase, sorry, trying to curse less. Yes, because I'm trying to curse less. Because, you know, my nephew watches this every now and then. And he's 15 years old. I don't want to be a bad influence. I don't want him to see me cursing as much as I do, like this sailor that I'm, you know. Not that I ever was a sailor, but I certainly do curse like one. I don't want him to hear that. I don't want him to replicate that. I don't want him to have anything to do with that. Sometimes my dear sweet mother, which, by the way, today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Mama King. Everybody out there can wish Mama King a very happy birthday. You know, sometimes she watches these streams as well, and I don't want to curse in front of my mama. I don't want to curse in front of mama. So that's why I always say I'm trying to curse less. I am trying to curse less, and every now and then it doesn't happen, but every time I catch myself, I always come out and want to say, okay, trying to curse less. Okay, trying to curse less. Okay, trying to curse less. Because I am legitimately trying to curse less. I don't want to curse that much, but we'll see. Jimbo in the chat says, happy birthday, Mama King out there. All right, we got one Mama King, happy birthday. We'll see if we can get the rest of the chat to give Mama King a happy birthday shout out. Kick is away here, and that's going to be a touchback. Raiders will get the ball at the 35-yard line. Irish in the chat says, happy birthday, Mama King, with the nice little birthday present emoji. Very nice. P. Gavin in the chat here says Giants are a better team than these horrid, putrid Raiders. Hey, let's not say that. I mean, you're calling the Raiders horrible and putrid as if the Giants aren't. Let's put the brakes on that. The Giants are pretty horrible and putrid as well. Geno Smith throws out of the backfield. Tucker catches that, and he's going to turn that into a 7-yard gain. Gets it up to the 42-yard line. 2nd and 3 coming up here for the Raiders. Mama King turning the big 8-0 today, by the way. 80 years old for Mama King. All the way up there in beautiful Pennsylvania. Hand off to Genty. Genty gets it past the 50 and further down to the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders. 14-yard run from Genty. Irish in the chat says, please, for the love of God, can you guys just stop Tucker? First and 10 for the Raiders from the Giants' 44-yard line. Geno under center. Mayer in motion. Geno cannot keep his feet on the field. He does hand it off to Genty. Genty's going to get 4 yards. Going to be 2nd and 6 from the 40-yard line. Geno Smith cannot stay on his feet. Smith under center again here on 2nd and 6. And to Genty again. Why not? He's been doing good work there. And this time he's only going to get a yard. 1 yard gain for Genty. It's going to make it 3rd and 5 from the 39-yard line. And the second half has kicked off there in the Eagles and Bills game in Orchard Park. Irish letting us know that as well. As you can see, I put the scoreboard here as well so we can see that. And that's going to be a loss. Genty with a run here. Abdul Carter with the stop for a loss, tackle for loss. 1 yard, 4th and 6 now upcoming for the Raiders. And the Raiders are going to go for it here. 4th and 6 from the Giants' 40-yard line. Geno Smith takes a snap, throws over the middle. That's going to be caught and all the way down to the Giants' 20-yard line, 20-yard line. The tight end, Mayer, gets that. 1st down and 10 for the Raiders. Irish says, let's go defense, as he's rooting for the Giants' defense to stop these Raiders. Due to fantasy football championship implications. So, first set of downs here for the Raiders. 1st and 10. Geno under center takes the snap. He's going to step back, looking to throw. Getting rushed. Throws over the middle. Way too high. Bit of a bover throw. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders. 3:53 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Irish in the chat says, if Tucker scores, I am cooked in my fantasy league rule. We'll see what happens here. Maybe the Giants can stop him. Or maybe you're cooked because you're relying on the New York Giants to do something positive for you. Hand off to Genty, and that's going to be a loss. Loss of 2, loss of 1, loss of 3. It all depends on where the referees decide to go ahead and spot this goddamn ball. They're going to say it's a negative 1 yard loss. So it's going to be 3rd and 11 coming up here. Irish in the chat says the Eagles need to feed Barkley. 3rd and 11, Geno Smith in shotgun. Steps back, looks, throws. He's going to complete to Mayer, who's kind of his safety valve here. It's going to be 4th down and 2 from the Giants' 13-yard line. And I think the Raiders are going to go for it here. CBS says 4th and 3. My stat sheet here says 4th and 2. Either way, it is 4th down and short. The Raiders going for it again in Giants territory from the 13-yard line. They have to get to the 11 for a 1st down. Geno Smith takes the snap. He's getting rushed. He's flushed out to the right side. He stops. He's got time now. Looks, throws. That is going to be caught. Sorry, I can't breathe. Oh, my God. Thornton with the reception. Good for 7 yards. And a 1st and goal for the Raiders from the 6-yard line. Irish in the chat saying, please stop them. Listen, it's out of my hands. It's out of my hands. 1st and goal. And we've got a flag down. "12 men on the field for the New York Football Giants." So that makes 1st and goal from the 3 now instead of the 6, as it's half the distance to the goal after the penalty. 1st and goal from the New York Giants 3-yard line. Hand off to Genty, and Genty's going to lose 2 yards. -2 on that play for Genty, losing 2 yards. 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line now. Geno in shotgun. Hands off. No, he's going to pull it down himself and runs. And he's only going to get a yard. 3rd and goal from the 4. We have reached 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter and counting. 3rd and goal. Raiders looking to punch it into the end zone for the first time today. Geno Smith lines up in shotgun. He's got White in the backfield with him. Giants rush. Thrown. That is batted up in the air. Incomplete. And it is 4th and goal for the Raiders from the Giants' 4-yard line. 36 seconds remaining. Irish in the chat says, I'm so nervous. These are the trying times in the fantasy leagues. You're in the championship game. You're thinking, man, I just need a couple things to fall my way. And now here we are. You need a couple things to fall your way. Will they fall your way or not? We don't know. 4th and goal. Geno in shotgun, takes the snap back. Oh, he's getting rushed. He does throw. Desperation, back in the end zone. Caught! Touchdown, Raiders! Tyler Lockett with the touchdown for the Raiders, and the Raiders finally score against the New York Football Giants, and they're an extra point away from making this a 10-point game. And it is currently 20-9 New York Football Giants. Lockett wide open in the back of the end zone with the desperation throw and catch on the 4th and goal. 3 fourth downs converted on that drive for the Raiders. Kick is up. It is good. And we have ourselves a 10-point game here in Tank Bowl 2025. The New York Giants lead the Oakland Raiders 20-10 at Allegiant Stadium from Paradise, Nevada. 31 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Eagles have the ball. They're facing a 2nd and 10 from their own 37-yard line. 12:07 remaining in the third quarter there, as you can see on our little scoreboard there. The stream I'm watching is a little behind. I just saw them make the first down that has led to this 2nd down and 10, or now 3rd and 12 that they're coming up here on. Irish was like, I'm so nervous. I'm literally shaking. Yes. Oh, my God. You literally made me say, listen, I'm not going to lie. I did kind of wait to say, I was like, touchdown, Raiders. And I was like, wait. And I was like, Tyler Lockett. I did kind of throw that out because I didn't want to say, because I was like, is he going to say Tucker? Is he going to say Tucker? He said Tyler Lockett. I am a dick. I'm an absolute dick, and I'm sorry, Irish. We're just having some fun. We're just having some fun. What's a little bit of the bants between buddies here, you know? Eagles facing a 4th and 12 now from their own 35-yard line. It looks like they're going to have to punt the ball away back to the Bills. What's everybody doing for New Year's this year? What are we doing? I know I'm staying home. We're gonna make some, obviously, some snacks, some hors d'oeuvres here in at old Kingsylvania Tower here, and just kind of gonna watch Stranger Things, the finale there, starting at 8. Pepper Jack is all about that, and we mentioned a little bit about Stranger Things during last night's stream. But yeah, we'll be watching that, and then that'll end probably around 10 o'clock, so it still gives you 2 hours until midnight. And so we'll have some of that. Irish says, I'm going to be working on New Year's. Oh, I know that feeling. I've done plenty of that. I've worked on Christmases and Thanksgivings and New Year's and all those. Giants. Oh, big return on the kickoff to the 40, to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, 20, 10, 5, kickoff return, touchdown, Giants. Oh, and there are no flags. Oh, and just when the Raiders make it a 10-point game, the Giants take those points right back on the kickoff. Woo-hoo-hoo. The Giants, is that the first kickoff return for a touchdown this season for them? I do believe it is. Flag thrown on the extra point try. Not sure why. Let's see what the call is here. Oh, it was unsportsmanlike conduct on the Giants because somebody came off the bench to celebrate. And so they're going to add 15 yards to the extra point attempt. Oh, no, that's 11. That is 11. So 26-10. This makes this extra point really freaking long. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is straight, true, and good. So the penalty didn't really matter. Giants still kick it through, and it is now a 17-point game again, 27-10. Giants lead. Tank Bowl on the kickoff return for a touchdown. Raider Jake in the chat says, "Go Raiders." Although technically, I mean, if you're like as a Raider fan here, Raider Jake, if we're gonna be honest with you, you need that number 1 pick. So you can go ahead and get your quarterback of the future, whoever you want to pick there. So you losing this game is good. Like I said, for my Giants, having the number 1 pick would be fun. I would say I would like to trade it so that we can get more assets and more, either more picks or more actual player assets. Fix our offensive line, fix our defensive backfield, do things like that. But the number 1 pick is not necessarily something for me that I think is a huge deal for the Giants this year anyway. But for you guys, I think absolutely you guys want to get that number 1 pick. So I think in Tank Bowl 2025, Raider Jake, I think you're kind of wanting to root for the Giants here maybe a little bit. So the Giants kick this off, and the Raiders kind of fumble this around in the end zone. They're going to just kneel on it. That'll be a touchback, and that'll come out to the 35-yard line for the Raiders. Crafty says that kick was as straight as Wilt Chamberlain. What did he say? He says like some ridiculous number. He said, what was it, like 40,000 or something women in his lifetime? It was like somebody actually did the math on that. Like he would literally have to nonstop be banging a different woman every 2 minutes nonstop for like 60 years of his life. It was bullshit. I have no doubt it was in the thousands. I mean, you're Wilt Chamberlain back in the day. You're just slanging it, man. You're slanging it wherever you can go. Tucker gets it on a bit of a sweep, little end around there. It's going to be good for 10 yards. First down for the Raiders at their 45-yard line, and that's going to end the third quarter. Last play of the third quarter is that first down run for Tucker. And as we enter the fourth quarter, the Giants lead Tank Bowl 2025, 27-10 over the Raiders. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen any of the players, any of the coaches, when you go to these games live, you see them, whether you're at a high school game, college game, pro game, all these guys on the sidelines, they're always, when they hit the fourth quarter, get the 4 fingers up. Why? Because they are dedicated to the game for all 4 quarters, the same as we are here on Stay Tuned Sports. So in the chat, get the 4s up, whether you're doing 4 tally marks, the number 4, 4 in an emoji form, however you're doing it. I know Crafty loves doing the emoji. Lloyd loves doing the superscript emoji or the superscript 4. You do the tally marks, Roman numeral 4, however you want to do it. Get the 4s up to show that you are just as dedicated as the players and coaches there, that we are here for all 4 quarters. Jimbo's got all the 4s up there. Irish has got his Roman numeral 4 up there. Crafty's got the 4 up there. Crafty's got the 4s. What are you, an orc? The orcs are the best at the war. Walk. I wish my stream was a little better for the Eagles game. But some servers aren't working. Some servers are down. Oh, is this one working again? Okay. All of these streams are so far behind, man. Crafty in the chat letting us know Josh Allen shaken up after a dirty, dirty hit by the Eagles on a sack. And that's not something you want to see. Oh, yeah, I saw. They just tore him down to the turf. They were trying to hurt. They were trying to bounce his head off the ground. Unbelievably dirty play there from the Eagles. Unbelievable dirty play from the Eagles. Love you, Jimbo. I love you, brother. Oh, Giants. They get a sack there on Geno Smith. Loss of about 9 yards. 2nd and 19 coming up.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
So here we go. So where are we? 2nd and 19 here? 3rd and 19? No, 3rd and 13, sorry. After a 6-yard run from Genti. Oh, the Raiders, that receiver 100% jumped and they didn't call it. And now they're saying it's a first down. I think he was short. 13-yard pass to Mayer. And they're just moving it. Wow. I think the officials just don't care. Bills fans booing Josh Allen. Uh-oh. Mayer again with a completion. That's going to be good for 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 from the Giants. 41-yard line coming up here for the Raiders. Crafty in the chat says, Eagles breathe on an opponent. King is like, dirty Eagles. That's that's. To be fair, though, I'm usually right when it comes to that because the Eagles are dirty, dirty, dirty team. Geno Smith from shotgun throws right down the field. Incomplete. Boy, that should be offensive pass interference. Adebo had a shot at that, and Jackson was all over him. That should have been pass interference on the Raiders. My God. 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Raiders from the 41. Jimbo says Bill started the dirty play. It's an eye for an eye. Jimbo, don't you know that an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, man? Peace. 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Raiders. Geno's got time. He looks, he throws. That's intercepted. Oh, no. Disaster for the Raiders. And that's going to be the Giants' ball, 1st and 10. And Geno Smith is down on the turf. We got a flag. After the interception, they're going to say the Giants had an illegal blindside block. Wait, what? Wow, what a terrible call. Geno trips over his own player, and they call a Giant player for a blindside block. That makes no fucking sense. Jesus Christ. Either way, Giants ball. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Giants' own 25-yard line now after that ridiculous goddamn penalty, which, by the way, if you hate the refs as much as I do, get your Fuck the Refs hoodie or T-shirt available right now in the Stay Tuned Sports merch store. You can go over there right now at bit.ly/staytunedmerch. That's bit.ly/staytunedmerch. You'll get a little ad there for Bitly because they're like, are you sure you want to go to this place? Make sure it's not a scam. It's not anything like that. You just click yes, continue to site, and you'll get right there to the store, and you'll see the Fuck the Refs hoodie and T-shirts. Comes pre-pixelated, so you won't worry about any of those pesky obscenity laws in your local community or area, wherever you may live. So you'll be fine with that, but the message will get across. As we've seen, these NFL refs absolutely suck, and everybody will share your opinion and agree with it as well. Fuck the Refs hoodies and T-shirts available over at the Stay Tuned Sports merch store, bit.ly/staytunedmerch, or in a link in the top of the chat or in the description below. Devontae Smith apparently with a big catch up in Orchard Park, but it is under review. Let's see here. I'll see that play probably in 2 hours. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I do see where he is down now. But let's take a look here and see if that ball touched the ground and if he maintained possession. Definitely. Well, you got to take a better look at that. See that there, and then you see him going down. Does he have control of it? I don't know. Oh, 1 second here, ladies and gentlemen. I got a phone call coming in. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I got to go sing happy birthday. Yep. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but some things are more important than football. Some things are more important than football. Just so you know that. And always take care of those things before doing YouTube streams, before watching games, before doing anything like that. Just remember. Jackson Dart, 2nd and 9, coming up here for the Giants. Boy, he's slipping on it. That's bad turf they have out there in Vegas. Throws incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 9 from the Vegas 35-yard line. So 39 coming up here for the Giants. It's still 13-0. Eagles over the Bills. 6:03 remaining in the third quarter there. And by the way, guys, thank you for all your birthday wishes for Mama King. Thank you. Pass to Singletary out of the backfield, and he's going to run for a first down. Gets a 12-yard gain all the way down to the 23-yard line. First down, Giants. Got a flag down. Now the officials are sitting having a goddamn conversation again. They picked up the flag, but we don't. We do flag counters here. As I says on the logo, you see flag counter, not a penalty counter. So just because they picked it up, we had to stop and we had to sit here and watch them talk to each other for 2 damn minutes while they had to go ahead and make sure that, oh, yeah, no, well, duh, I shouldn't have thrown that flag, boss. Sorry about that. So 1st and 10 for the Giants from the Vegas 23-yard line. Darts and shotgun. 7:23 and counting remaining here in the fourth quarter for the Giants. Hand off to Singletary. He's going to get about a yard. 2nd and 9 for the Giants coming up from the 22-yard line. Good to see you again, Taylor. Thank you for showing up. Whenever we have something that has a 13 or a 22, and now we have both. We have 13 flags, and it's on the 22-yard line, so Taylor's going to be there for a while. 2nd and 9. We are under 7 minutes left to go here in this game. Tank Bowl 2025, the Giants and the Raiders. Giants currently lead 27-10. Dart is going to be under center here. Takes the snap. This is going to be a handoff. Tracy gets a yard. And now we've got some shoving after the play from the Raiders. And a flag is now thrown. And so now we've lost the 22-yard line, and we've lost the 13 flag. So Taylor's not going to be there for long. I thought Taylor was going to be there for a while. Turns out she's not. All right, Taylor. Irish in the chat says, keep running that clock. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the Raiders. Is that a half the distance? I think that's a half the distance penalty. Because it only ends up being about a 10-yard penalty. Jimbo says that the Eagles just got a BS pass interference call in their game. Well, let's see. I'll see that play in probably 30 minutes. So 1st and 10 for the Giants. Oh, my God. He's all over them. What are you talking about, Jimbo? What the hell are you talking about? That's a BS call. He was all over him, molesting him, and then tackled. Jimbo, come on. So the Giants here, 1st and 10 from the 11, or the 10.5, really. Going to be a 3-yard run there for Tracy up the middle. 2nd and 7 from the 8 coming up here for the Giants. Oh, Jimbo, stop it. Stop it. Don't be that guy, Jimbo. Don't be that guy, Jimbo. Hand off to Tracy again. 2nd and 7. That's going to be actually a loss of a yard. 3rd down and 8 from the 9 coming up here for the Giants. As we have hit the 5-minute mark in Vegas. 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes now. We're at 4:53 remaining in the 4th quarter. Third and 8. Jackson Dart in shotgun takes the snap. He's back, looks, throws towards the end zone. Nobody there at all. And we have a flag down. What's this going to be? Is this roughing the passer? Did they go helmet to helmet on Dart? That might be the case here. Oh, that didn't touch the ground. What a catch from the Bills. And again, these officials can't make a decision without a 45-minute damn conversation. They're going to say fouls on both teams. Personal foul, roughing the passer on the Raiders. Intentional grounding they're going to call on Dart. How is... Okay. I thought I've seen in other places where the if there's the roughing the passer, that takes the precedent and they count that one. Why is it sometimes they do that and other times they don't? I don't get it. Either way, they say offsetting penalties. So the down doesn't count. 3rd and 8 upcoming. Third and 8 from the 9. Dart takes the snap. Rolls out to the right. Throws to Bellinger. Bellinger gets it down to about the 2. It's going to be a yard short. 4th and 1 coming up from the Las Vegas 2-yard line. And I think the Giants are going to go for it. Why not? Third and goal, and the Bills just can't do anything, huh? They're going to turn this over. And, looking at the scoreboard, they did. Bills turned over on downs. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles on their own 1-yard line because the Bills cannot punch it into the end zone. Jesus Christ. Fourth and 1 from the 2. Dart rolls out to his left. He's going to pull that down, and touchdown, Jackson Dart, his 2nd of the game. And the Giants have iced this game away, now up by 23 points. So the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas are going to end up getting that number 1 pick spot here. The Giants are going to fall out of it with the victory here. Not that it really matters. Snap, hold, kick up is good. 34-10. A full 24-point lead now for the New York Giants over the Raiders. 3:40 remaining in the game. This feels like a lead the Giants can't blow, but they have blown a lot of leads on the road. Let's see what happens with this one. Meanwhile, the Bills and Josh Allen trying to pump fake the Eagles and cannot get into the end zone. First and 10, by the way, for the Eagles from their own 1-yard line. They're at a 3rd and 6 now from their own 5. As the Eagles are going tush push just to get out of their own end zone, they're seeing that on the bit of a delay stream there. ELS says, "Damn, the Giants are on fire." We're playing the Raiders. Let's all collectively relax. Let's relax, ELS. The Eagles are going to have to punt from the shadow of their own end zone. Oh, my goodness. The goalposts casting a shadow on the Eagles punter. So while the Bills were not able to go ahead and score on that drive, their defense has held the Eagles, and they should get pretty okay field position coming up. Indeed, they're going to have 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 41-yard line after the punt. So ELS says, "King, the Giants need anything positive." But I guess what's your aspect of positive? Is it the Giants getting a win? Or would the Giants getting the number 1 pick be the positive? If the Giants lost today, they would have locked up the number 1 pick. So it depends, I guess, as a fan, how you look at it. What do you take as a more positive thing? Kick is away. It's going to be a touchback. The Raiders are going to take it at the 35-yard line. So I guess it depends on the Giants fan how you want to look at it. Me, I'm like, again, I like the fact that we got a win, but the problem is the win now is going to cause nothing but other Giants fans to bitch and moan, which is something I don't want to have to deal with. But I'm going to have to deal with and listen to these people just bitch and moan about the Giants. Oh, the Giants, what, the meaningless game, and what, we could have had the number 1 pick. Okay. But who are you picking with the number 1 pick? We're not picking another quarterback. And like I said, having the number 1 pick is fine. Now the Raiders have put Kenny Pickett in. Hand off to Genty, and Genty with a huge run. Holy Jesus. 24-yard run for Genty. Gets it all the way down to the Giants' 41-yard line. First down, Raiders. Genty gets a 1-yard loss on that one. 2nd and 11 coming up from the Giants' 42-yard line. Pickett throws. That's going to be good for 5 yards. Gets it to Thornton. Going to be 3rd and 6 at the 37 for the Raiders. Giants 37, by the way. ELS in the chat says the Giants will be good with the number 2 pick or less. For the Giants fans who want Fernando Mendoza instead of Dart, you're stupid. I don't disagree with that. Like I said, that's why I said the Giants having Dart, like having the number one pick, you would want that if you were looking for a franchise quarterback. I think the Giants have a franchise quarterback, so I'm okay with the lower picks. Having the number one pick is still good, though, because you can trade it and get Kenny Pickett runs out of bounds. That's going to be, but he ran out for a loss, so that he sacked himself. They're going to give credit to Flanagan Foles for the sack.
But too bad your ass got sacked.
It's going to be 4th and 6 from the Giants, 37-yard line for the Raiders, but we've hit the 2-minute warning here. But yeah, when it comes to the Giants, like I said, I would like having the number one pick, just knowing that you can trade that to a desperate team for a pretty decent haul of either other draft picks, where then you can get a lot more assets, or for draft picks and for already established players' assets, and have that, like I like that aspect of it, of having the number one pick, but I still think having a high enough pick there, maybe you can, if somebody wants to get a quarterback up that high, if we're at number 2 or number 3 or whatever the case is, that gives a chance to, like, hey, we'll have ears open, we'll listen to it and see what we'll do. Because again, I think the Giants need to 100% focus on offensive line and defensive backfield, and you can kind of get those players lower in the first round and in second and third rounds. Like you can get very good, if not great, offensive linemen, trench players lower in those rounds. So having a top 5, top 3 pick isn't a necessity for this team right now. Elis says, King, who do you want to get with the number 2 pick? Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if we want to get anybody with the pick or if we want to trade that and go further down and start looking. Again, I'd have to look at who's the offensive lineman coming out of college, who's going to be the number 1 guys and things like that. ELS says, in my opinion, go for Love out of Notre Dame or offensive line. I would love to get Love. But I would rather right now trade for the offensive lineman first. I'd rather work on the line, get the trenches first, before getting yet another skill player and not working on the things that we absolutely need to work on. Now, if we're able to do both, again, if we end up at number 2, number 3, number 4, no matter where it ends up there, if that ends up being the case, I don't mind if we can trade down like a pick or 2. Maybe Love will still be available at that point, and then we can get both. We can get Love with the higher pick, and then with whatever haul we get from another team that wanted to trade up, we can get offensive linemen and things of that nature. But I think first and foremost, you have to get linemen. You have to build in the trenches. Have to. 4th and 6. Pickett is... That's going to be a 10-yard penalty for holding. On the Raiders. It makes it 4th and 16 now. Kenny Pickett throws on 4th and 16. That's going to be short. And the Giants have the ball here. 1st and 10 from their own 36. They should just be able to kneel it out. And that'll be the end of the game here. By the way, if the Raiders do end up with the number 1 pick, I just heard on the broadcast there, the last time they had the number 1 pick is when they had Jamarcus Russell and picked him. And by the way, that was the only number 1 pick that they've ever had. So Jimbo in the chat says Allen just choked. I'm guessing that he just is. Did he throw an interception? 1st and 10. The Eagles have the ball on their own 20-yard line. And the Giants are just going to kneel this ball out here. Shamir Dyke has the new NFL record for all-purpose yards for a rookie. I did hear that he had that ability to get that, so. ELS says the Raiders must be going for Fernando with the number 1 pick. Maybe. But knowing the Raiders, maybe they go Pavia and it blows up in their face. That would not surprise me either with the Raiders. 2nd and 11. Dart kneels down. It's going to be 3rd and 12, I guess, because it's another. Oh, they're going to say, he kneeled kind of forward there. Yeah, so they say actually no yards. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It is over in Vegas. The last kneel down. Jackson Dart kneels it down, and the Giants have won a road game for the first time since Week 5 of 2024. And they have relinquished their spot in the number 1 draft order that now goes to the Raiders. And if the Raiders lose to the Chiefs next week, the Raiders will secure that number 1 draft pick. I'm sure there's Giants fans out there that are angry, but like I said, I'm not. Like, what are we, who you doing? Who you doing? Like, what are we doing here? Jimbo's letting us fill me in here on the Eagles-Bills game. Said he was on the 40-yard line. He ran around, only gets sacked and forced to punt. Oh, okay. ELS with a little bit of news here for Sunday Night Football, which we'll be here to cover as well. George Kittle is officially inactive. He was going to try to let it go and see if he could make it work with I guess they're officially calling it a sprained ankle, even though Kittle didn't want to say sprained ankle. He said it's not a sprain. We'll see. I think I'll be all right and do everything like that and blah, blah, blah. Tried to make it go. Did not get that to go. So George Kittle inactive tonight for the 49ers as they take on the Bears in Santa Clara, 60 miles outside of San Francisco on Sunday Night Football. And we'll be back here in just a little over an hour to bring that to you here on Stay Tuned Sports. Thank you, everybody, for watching Tank Bowl 2025. The New York Giants win or lose. Tank Bowl, I guess however which way you look at it. Giants win the game 34-10 over the Raiders. The Raiders, however, win the number 1 draft pick spot. And now all they have to do is lose to the Chiefs next week, and they will secure that number 1 spot. However, if the Raiders beat the Chiefs next week and the Giants lose to the Cowboys next week, then I think the Giants will jump right back into that spot. So still up for grabs, but if I was a betting man, I'd probably say the Raiders will be that number 1 pick. So, ladies and gentlemen, until later on tonight when we're here for the Bears and the 49ers, my name is King. This has been Stay Tuned Sports. If you liked any part of this broadcast, please hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let people know that this channel exists. And, of course, if you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers and hopefully being monetized on this great and glorious platform known as YouTube. If you want to help us out more directly, we have a link for our donation station and our merch store down in the description below. And you can do all that and help us out there as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything all of you guys do. I really do appreciate all of you who view us, who watch, who support. Just you guys being here watching is a huge support. And again, I personally can't thank you enough. And seeing how some of these views have gone up, and wow, why did Jennifer Garner get super loud out of nowhere? Thank you guys so very much for all that you do. And so again, until tonight, for Bears and 49ers, my name is King. This is Stay Tuned Sports. See ya in just a just a little bit of time. It's about an hour or so. I'm like Lens Crafters, baby, in about an hour.